Let's talk about cars again. Accident cars are generally divided into many types. Some are work-related medical malpractice, right? Some are on fire. Some are blisters. In some cases, it's a rear-end collision. Compared to the last three? Blisters on fire. The rear-end collision is covered by insurance. But work-related medical malpractice? It is estimated that there is no compensation for this. Why can't you shoot specifically? The audience of teachers asked. This stuff, it's complicated. If you prove it was a work-related injury, is medical malpractice, you might have to step on the sewing machine. Reformed Hall. So today he's fixing a burning car. From this stock price analysis, it should be a dump truck. And it is still a high-end enchantment package of Octahua. There is a front court to prevent pedestrians from eating some devices. This is actually a negative example. Why our country? Very hard on these modified cars. Whether it's a small car or a large car. Because the safety hazard is too great. Technology in some designs include installation. There is no reasonable standard of restraint. So it's easy to go wrong. And this gossip bike. The same problem. Because of the installation of an auxiliary cooling water pump. Then it short-circuited and burned. But unfortunately, today only repairs are made to this part of the engine coolant. Therefore, teachers and audiences, if you want to see the complete repair of the entire car, you can squeak. Take a good look and learn. So teachers and audiences who are happy to see, you can long press the forwarding arrow. There are 3 free small flowers in it. Send it to the streamer. Friends from a certain station, please throw in some coins for me too. Obviously, these 8-year-old teams in Taoist robes. Responsible for the fire engine repair part. Other girders. The wiring and tendons should be contracted to others. Now disassembling the split is a gearbox. Judging from this quality, if the car hadn't burned too badly, that must be serious. You can see it, basically. Burnt black. The sludge inside is burnt and cut into pieces. Including this release bearing, it's red. It means that the temperature was very high at that time. Even the water in the oil and water has evaporated. And now it's a valve cover. From this the upper structure of the launch coolant. Can guess. Should be a straight 6-cylinder engine. If you don't believe me, count the taboo trachea 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. Generally speaking, there are only a few holes and a few cylinders. Passing a burning car engine. It is easier to form a carbon deposit inside. It becomes a grease due to sludge deposition. Grease goes through another high temperature. It becomes dry. It's the same as mud. The first is cement. Then it becomes mud dry. It condenses, it deposits carbon. So this engine, unless you overhaul it. Otherwise it has no value at all. Large displacement diesel engine. Because its characteristic is a high twist low turn. So it is usually a jacking machine. This is no exception. Single top camshaft. And then with a rocker shaft. Implement an intake and exhaust. Wife uncle in green robe and slippers. He should be the chief surgeon today. They remove the screw tool very simple. A curved rod plus a nail rod. Without any power tool assistance. Is this set a rocker arm shaft? He's not a camshaft. Then the second one of this thing. That's a camshaft. Normally there will be a gear on the camshaft. The gear is connected to the end of page alley below. Pair tokens through point-to-point tokens. Implementation of a workmanship compression exhaust fuel injection. Can you see the inside next? What comes out now is a fuel injection nozzle. There are 6 in total. There are springs inside. It's called a valve spring. The following words install the valve. It is now charging a steel cover bolt. Why are diesel cars so big? because its compression ratio is relatively large, so the explosion of the car is very powerful. This dry cover bolt is very tight. After the bending rod is applied and unloaded, then use a nail rod to remove them one by one. And the steel, down the middle. This thing is being dismantled now. It's an oil pump. Explain a problem? This is not high-pressure rail. It is the machine before the third country. Maybe it's from the third country. So it's not an EFI? A computer-controlled fuel injection machine. It's mechanically pressurized through a camshaft. Hydraulic pressure, distributed to each oil rail to each oil nozzle. Before answering this doubt, I would like to ask the teachers and audience here. Have you ever been a long-distance driver for 3 months? You all know how to drive on the highway? If you're going too fast, he should have limited viewership of the speed limit, because now it is all ECU control of EFI. And this is not because of his mechanical oil pump. And many people say, the big pump machine that has driven through the third country. If you turn on the EFI machine again, you will feel that it is an EFI now. It's not as powerful as the big pump machine before. Isn't this an illusion? Because of the ECU it will swim and twist. All kinds of restrictions. So you will feel that no matter how you step on it, you don't have that much strength. The computer can handle it for you. And the big pump machine belongs to the kind of forced college flight. He has no chip control. He will give as much gas as you step on. So the same can be said. EFI will save a little more fuel. Big pump machines are not so fuel efficient. Then let's talk about the reason for the discharge. Because if his fuel injection control is not accurate, it's hard to control your discharge. So it's almost out of the market now. You may only be able to find some venue cars, such as kills, or some deep mountain logging. Maybe these machines. Now it is also repairing one less. And this is the radiator. Everything that comes out of the radiator is yellow. Masala. Their side. There is no concept of antifreeze at all. It's all water. If you add water for too long, you will turn yellow. Otherwise, the normal color should be green or red. Colored liquid. There's this thing called an oil pump. So now I'm laughing at the oil pump. I guess I didn't eat. You used to laugh at the oil pump and laugh at the fuel injector, right? The most you can do now is laugh at the greasy mouth. You are next to a national or provincial highway. These three are absolutely indispensable. Hunan Shoshui Township Hunan Nok Oil Pump. And Shucheng School Drive Shaft. If you start Kuan upright, future generations will definitely forget it. Here's a wash basin that's drier than a wash basin. It should be ready to release the oil inside. But I accidentally caught the basin. But it's not a big problem. This looks like an aluminum basin. This screw may have been unscrewed long ago. He wants to adjust a position. Pour the oil control into the wash basin. I didn't expect it to be a mistake. But let's be honest. Without this triangular bracket, it's really hard to carry it with just 2 people. Kuinyo everywhere. Last time I had a Bentley 6.0 maintenance on my W12. It took 11 liters of oil. This displacement is more than 10 liters. At least 16 liters or more. There is only a little oil left in the wash basin. All fell to the ground. Just rely on the operation that came out with the piston. I don't know if you've seen this. It should be a wet water group ring, just a wet steel sleeve. So it's so easy to get out. If it's dry and wet, you can't get out after knocking for half a day. How does that work? Just like Legion. You eat more vegetables or some dietary fiber. Then you pulled big, thick, and many in the morning. But constipation, right? Pull. You may not be able to pull that little bit in half an hour. And also pull chrysanthemums. Just like the last time I went to Chongqing. To be honest, my stomach burned during those days. I can't stand it later. I went to the People's Hospital of Malai City. Anorectal medical treatment. Opened a 29.9 string of Western set menus. Just half an hour. It's just that the feet are a little weak. After decomposition, it is the cleaning work. But I just can't think of it. Why carry this? The three-wheeled motorcycle goes up and cleans it. Developed countries have an advantage. No matter what you do, you will use technology. Including cleaning, there will be an ultrasonic wave. It's basically hand washing here. Manually use this water pipe to spray one by one. Purely artificial 500 shots? A 360-degree filter. Just ask if you wash it clean. Basically, you can't see the oil stains. It's really dry. Then start assembling. The warning now is an oil nozzle. A device for cooling fires and the temperature in the cylinder. It's easy to pull the cylinder without this thing. After installing the big tile, now start putting the crankshaft. Measure a gap. In fact, he shrank in the middle. Reduced a lot of maintenance links. Maybe to save time. Just take a hammer. This steel, you guess, has been replaced with a new one. Or did you spray a layer of red paint after cleaning? I don't know how many of you got it right. From the canning trench inside this radiator. The brown trench can be seen to be old. There is a water stain. It means that this is a refurbished spray paint. Reuse. The dad with agate fingers. The thing that appears goodnight is called a paper slide. This thing can't be put upside down. Generally speaking, it is outside the groove. Otherwise, a dry film will appear. Assembly was very smooth and fast. Because of the wind. 8 words. Maybe a dozen or 20 a year. And not just that. So everything is assembled on the way home. Familiar with the road. Just like the big magic above. It seems that all of them are replaced with new ones. Because they are not only repairing. More and more are renovations. Don't even let go of this oil pan. The details of this renovation. This is the true craftsman spirit. Original accessories plus a rigorous attitude. And a very good eye. It's very difficult to fix it well. He needs to mark all the gears. And then this is the big scoop in the back. The back end of this shell is connected with a flywheel. The clutch and the gearbox at the back. It's basically refurbished paint. This scoop is also turned over. It's just that his engine's steel. Sprayed a red. After all, red represents a performance, right? Increase the heart horsepower by at least 20 horses. Layman look at the doorway. If you are an expert, watch the fun. If I see this pressure plate. It's actually cracked. Strictly speaking, it needs to be replaced. Or polish it. Because of the dump truck they gossip about over there. Long-term overload. Heavy-duty oil cracking temperature is normal. The clutch is to step on the dead. Here we assemble the core components of the engine. Pistons and connecting rods. Well, there's a bright spot. From this packaging. Pistons he uses the Mahler brand. The piston, so to speak. Global industry no one. Audi, Benz, BMW. Especially Audi and Volkswagen. Almost all of his fires. They all use the Mahler brand. And Mahler's oil and filter elements. The filter element industry is also made by Mahler. You're like Hangost and Mahler. The Volkswagen Group uses a little more of these two brands. Of course, there are also slow rows. The longer you use something, the darker it gets. So this is just a set of words. At a glance, there are no second-hand goods left behind just now. Watch him use a new one. Point maceracan oil to lubricate it. Piston ring. As long as the location is not too outrageous. For example, the 3 rings are paired together. Basically, there is no problem. Because normally he can also work inside. It's displaced, so you can see it. Experts can feel it. I feel that the 8th uncle also knows the essentials. Then it is clamped with a live tire clip. With a hammer. Of course, that's the wooden handle at that end. Even wrapped in a layer of cloth. Prevent hurting this fire tire. Very professional approach. White robe responsible for barrel piston. The burgundy robe is responsible for installing the tile cover. The jade quality of people now? I'm still used to talking about a threshold that is too high. So expectations are too high. You can often see the assembly of those ceilings. Expectations are too high. But normal maintenance. It's not that clean at all. Or rather, does it have the same equipment as the main airport? More in fact, it is to repair like this with the 8th. I'm telling the truth. There are also very few torque wrenches and the like. Of course, those tools are better. If not, it depends entirely on the master's experience. One thing is undeniable. What is repaired according to the maintenance manual standard? The machine is definitely more sophisticated. A little more durable. A little oil on each piston. Mainly for the moment he starts. The steel pressure is sufficient. In other words, the pressure in the cylinder, sealed by this oil, would be better to start than higher than. And then a cylinder head. Alert first. Then make it at home. The strength of breastfeeding must be used. But slippers are slippery. Normally, this bolt lifts more than 150 Newton meters upright. Then an exhaust manifold is installed. Straight disc 6-cylinder. Sequential intake pipe. Valve rocker shaft assembly. You can see it before the camshaft is installed, old 8. Pulling out is really under the horizontal child. This repair is textbook grade. He's moving up and down with every sensor he has. Look at the silky smooth. So why is the old master so good at repairing the machine? Because of experience. Why does he check every component? Because he checked. The places he checked are all places where he has suffered losses before. Just take a hammer. This is the first time you fell into this pit, right? You can't pay it back a second time. If you return it, then this kind of person is no different from a fool when he tells the truth. Because if people are wet and sore, he will remember to hit them. We are advanced creatures. Engine peripheral accessories are assembled. Now it's the air from the oil track. Then use the oil pump in your hand to make a jade body. Pay attention to the suction sound. The louder the suction is, it shows that the motivation to launch Kuan is better. Just like everyone in this room takes a little pill. The compression ratio is super large. It's constantly touching the sole. But the words of the sole have not made a big leap. It should be that there is still air in this oil rail. Ah, it's on. Finally got it. Very happy. Because the air is finished. The ratio of air to oil is just right. He can activate the ratio of gas. Burgundy horn candles should be the major. He said the idle speed is still a bit unstable. The engine is a little out of breath. The valve may need to be adjusted. Put a glue after adjusting the valve. Then close the lid. Try to start again. Let's hear how it sounds this time. After adjusting the valve, it is very obvious. The engine is not shaking. If you give oil, you will flee. This kind of maintenance and restoration degree is at least close to 95%. Personally, if you think about this maintenance, you can give 10 out of 10.